but he just like he did this like 2 or 3 days in a row where he's just like by the end of the night he's like, I'm done with this.
Sure.
And just would not let go. I ended up having to just carry him once because he would not walk.
Sure, and that's fine. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, your case, because you have a smaller dog, it's easier, right?
Yeah.
It's like, all right, cool, just pick you up and go home. I don't care about that stuff. You know, if you have to do something, if it's like, yeah, this just isn't working at the moment, it's fine. You're not going to take like dramatic steps back or anything like that. It's more so like, let's say every walk ended up like that, then I would say now we're creating a pattern. Okay, but if it's like on occasion, it's just like, yeah, it's a shit show. That's perfectly fine. What's been the lowest you've been able to operate at?
12.
About 12? Okay. And what's the busyness like?
So people, they're around like a 20 other dogs. We end up going up to sometimes like 40, 42.
Okay.
If he's being very reactive.
Okay. Are you aware of our walks, by the way? Our pack walks?
Yes.
You are. The ones that we just came from right now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so we have them every Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. We meet here on Diversity in Inner Lake Shore. And we go for about an hour-long walk. And like right now, we just socialized 2 dogs that are, one's currently training with me, one had already finished with me, and I'm helping them. So it's a place where there'll be other dogs. They've all, for the most part, been trained by me, or people that understand that some owners are working on things. So this is a very judgment-free zone. So if he's having a moment, you don't got to worry about it. I'm there, and I give, and Enrique's there. We're there to help in case anything happens. Otherwise, if things are going good, we can help progress his socialization as well. If you want to press socialization, he would need to be muzzled, which I think you're working on, right?
Yeah.
But he'd be like, let's say as you're doing the muzzle training, you want to join us on the walks. He's perfectly fine. He's easier to handle than if you were a bigger dog. And then once you're like, hey, Jesse's muzzle trained, and I'd like to like bring him into close proximity, then we go, cool. You can go ahead and do that. Okay. We also, I don't know if you're on Facebook, but I just started what I called our pack community page, which is I've invited my clients to join it. Those that have like reactive dogs that want to work on socializing, and they've already had sessions with me, and they just kind of coordinate with each other, and they go and like socialize their dogs, and it's all very like consistent thinking, so it makes things easier. Okay, so I can send you the links to all those things. It's all free, it's just to help each other, things kind of like that. Okay. So what we're going to do, any questions for me before we get started?
The only question I have is, after our 1-hour training session, he did develop some, like, pressure sores.
Oh, really? That quickly?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if it's okay, I'm going to switch, like, halfway through which side it's on.
That's perfectly fine. There's also a comfort adapter.
Okay.
Enrique, would you send me a text and say comfort adapter, pack community page, and pack walk information for Emily? I'll send you that. Okay, so it's unless he's got very sensitive skin or he just irritates very quickly, super uncommon. The comfort adapter should help with that because it's so instead of 2 probes, it's 4.
It's 4. Yeah, we have it from our collar.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, so similar to that, but it's gonna be a different style, and it should help prevent that from happening. I still tell people it's meant for extended wear, like it's meant for 24-hour wear, but I always suggest people still rotate and always check the neck because sometimes they can have allergies to certain metals, things like that. So just bear that in mind, okay? Anything else? Okay, so we have a dog approaching here, just so you know. What I'm going to have you do is let's go ahead and go down to that 10 to 12. And I know he's like super shaky right now, but this is actually better than the last time I saw you here. At Oz,
Yeah, so this is the other thing. Now, before we go on walks, we say, hey, we'll go outside. He's like jumping, very excited. Now he's like shaking and hiding under the table.
That goes away.
Is predictable, yeah.
Yeah, that goes away. You want to maintain your upbeat and positive energy. Come on, bud, let's go.
Yeah.
Don't ever feel bad for him. Don't ever try to coax him out of things. It's just, okay, we're going to go. And if he goes underneath, I clip the leash, I pull him out, I leash him up, collar him up. You give him high-value stuff, he'll take it. See, cheese, sausage, pepperoni, whatever. And then you go for the walk, okay? Eventually, once we work through all this stuff, and every dog progresses differently, his could be longer because he is such an anxious dog, or his could be very quick. Like, I don't know how that's going to work out, but it's very important for the owner to always be neutral or upbeat, because if you're like, oh, bud, I know it's time to train, and you're like, well, he looks at you, he's like, well, you don't like it,
right?
so why should I like it? Okay. So what we're gonna do is just show me what you've been working with, and when he starts to have his moments, just tell me what you're doing and do what you think you need to do. We'll see how that works out, and then we'll move on to the next thing. Okay. I already see the problem. Okay. Yep. Okay. What we're going to do here. Okay, go ahead and adjust them. What do you need? Do you have a mask?
Yeah.
Here. Go ahead and mask up. Do you know what the problem is?
The tension and dragging.
What is?
That's all I got.
What do we always do when we tap?
You move. What do you mean? I'll pivot.
Okay. I'm gonna have. So I have an idea of what's going on here. I'm gonna have Enrique demonstrate with Buddy to give you a clearer visual. Okay, because I forgot my mask over in my car. Oh, here you go. I'll with the camera in. There you go. Really clean hand.
Two pumps for me.
So, couple things that I see. I'm taking out of your check. Couple things I see are you have your leash a little too short, okay, and you're not turning. You're moving forward, and it's creating frustration because he doesn't know what he's supposed to do. Okay, so I'm gonna have Enrique work with Buddy here to demonstrate. Okay, be mindful of redirect.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're gonna just pass off here. And you're at what number, Enrique?
18.
I'd take up, go ahead and go back down to that 12. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take about a foot of slack. There you go. Okay. Go and work your magic.
One tap.
Now here, what I'm going to have you do, careful, watch ahead of you, is instead of moving, you're going to be stationary, light pull up. There you go. He's out of it. Okay. So instead of keeping the moving, what we're going to do instead is we're going to actually stop and you're going to do that pull up, lightly up, slow taps, because he's panicking so much we have to go slower. Okay. So forward, and let's go down to 8, by the way. Tap, 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 tap. Now wait. His paw. Yeah. See, that harness is such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I know.
You don't have a slip on you, do you?
I do.
You do? He has the trachea thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you mind if I pop a slip on him? Because that harness is really working against you.
Yeah.
Is you okay?
Sure.
Right, and we're going to swap. I'm going to handle him. Let me clean my hands. Go and loop them. You have a very special case.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, he's been doing better. He hasn't been fighting it this much
Yeah.
anymore. But
It's just
yeah.
because when he comes undone.
Yeah, I know. I'm like afraid he's gonna catch his paw and get hurt.
Yeah. We're gonna go down. This is 5. Tap, 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 So he needs to let it go. Okay, but since it's clipped back here, it's working more to his favor. So I'm at a 5 right now. Okay. That's kind of my shooters. I'm gonna go down to a 3. Yeah. Tap, 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 tap. 5. Tap, 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 tap. There we go. Good. That paw on the leash, he needs to remove. So I just keep going up. I help a little bit by adjusting the body. We're still at a 5. Yep. Good. Yep. Yep. Good. Yep. 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 Good. Yep. Yep. Good. Yep. Good. Yep. Good. Good. Yep. 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 Good. Yep. Yep. Good. Yep. Yep. Good. 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 Tap. 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 Good. Pattern. Tap. Tap. Good. Tap. 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 Good. Good. Yep. Good boy. Yep. 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 Good. Good boy. Good. Good. Good.
Oh, sorry.
Yep. Good. Yep. Good. Yep. 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 Good. Good. Attaboy. Good. Still at a 5. Okay. It was the harness. You're doing everything like I coached you through, so good job. Okay. Not easy.
Yeah.
This here, what we did was it's overload of pressure.
Yeah.
So you started to panic. So here you can see very light, 2 fingers only guidance, 5. And when he was becoming resistant, tap, tap, right? I was giving space between those hits to let the brain, like I'm pushing him into like cut the crap, but I'm giving him, because he overcompensates with the anxious nervous energy. So when you give that hit, he needs time to like not just take it and process it, but also think about what he needs to do next. Okay. So like when he rolled on the back, his back like he did previously with the harness and stuff, where you had to go super high and he just wasn't getting it, right? Here I'm at 5, and because it was mostly just this.
Yeah.
Okay, switching this works more to my in my favor. Again, very light pressure on that leash. Tap, and then he popped himself out of it, maybe 6, 7 taps, and then he started locking in more. I don't know if you noticed that,
Yeah.
right? He started to not follow my leg, because all that stuff that we're seeing is resistance, caused because of anxious nervousness and all that stuff, not wanting to do it. Is once you break through the resistance in the brain, then all the information that you're trying to like put in can be received. Okay, so it's like if someone is in a really bad mood and you're trying to like talk to them about something, or maybe about if their brain is stuck on, I'm not going to listen, they're not going to listen. You can talk all you want, it's not going to go through. Same thing here. Okay, until I break through, like when he was putting his paws, he has to remove them. Okay, if we remove them, he learns nothing. So when he removes them, I've broken resistance. Okay, he does it again, I break it again. He rolls in his back, I break that behavior too. And eventually he's like, oh crap, well, I gave it my best, right? What are you trying to teach me? Oh, okay. Then all of a sudden it starts to come into play. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little bit more with him. Then I'll pass him off. I'm most likely going to see him act up a bit more with you because he's got that relationship. So I'm going to coach you as best I can using this slip leash because I know you're worried about the collapsed trachea thing, right? If you keep that in your head too much about like just him hurting himself and stuff, and you've done great by the way, it makes things tougher. So it's what we're doing here is we're doing slower, gentler. Right. Taking our time, like I wasn't in a rush. If it took me 15 minutes to fix one behavior, I take 15 minutes to fix that one behavior. Because the next time, it'll just be a minute. Yeah. Then the next time, 30 seconds. Then 10 seconds. Then very, very quick. And then we don't see it anymore. Okay? And boy. So we want to make sure we have that slack. Tap. 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 Good. Tap, 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 8, tap, 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 12, tap, 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 there. He has to remove himself. So I froze. I stayed in that same position, 5 to 8 to 12. Okay, I'm going to go down, back to 5 again. Yep. Good. Good. Yep. Good. Good. Good boy. Yep. Good. Good.
It's just going to be so overwhelmed and I'm thinking to miracles.
Yeah, exactly.
Tap. Tap. Good. Boy. Good. Nice. Got it. Good. Tap. Good. 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 Tap. Good. So that one tap, all that nonsense, right? But you see it was just one tap,
Yeah.
and I very quickly just moved with him to line him back up again. Because if you keep pressure on right there, you're going to keep him in that panic state.
Yeah. Okay.
So again, it's that overcompensation. You have to go through it, let it resolve, and then you keep moving. Now we're back to where we were. Okay. This is it's usually, as you've probably seen in the videos, much more straightforward.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a special case. Yep. Good. Yep. Good. Good boy. Right. So, what we're going to do here is go ahead and just relax. Pretty good. Okay. Is now we're going to give space. Okay. When you give the tap, if you see him overcompensate, just let it ride out. So if you tap him for the turn and he shoots ahead, you're not going to tap again. You're just going to turn. Just going to turn again, and then come to a stop to see if he'll come in. Okay, and then we're just, the reason why I was going slower is because anxious, his kind of energy wants to move very quickly, right? So now I'm going opposite to him, and I'm going slower to really make him focus. Okay, I'll just go and pivot to your right, pivot forward, yep. Relax. Now here, turn. All right, now relax that arm. Turn, tap. Okay, keep forward. I'll have you walk a little slower. Turn, yep, now relax. Turn, tap. Forward. Keep forward, ignore that, yep. There you go. Now relax. Good. Turn, tap. Good. Forward, tap, good. Relax. Keep forward. Just push through. You got it. Good job. Relax that arm. You got it. Good. Nothing here. Good. Now, yeah, keep relaxed. Good. Now have you walk a little slower. Okay. Turn. Tap. Good. Pull to your left. Tap. Good. Relax. Good. Keep forward. Relax. Good. Just straight. Keep straight. You got it. Now turn, tap. Good. Keep forward, just push through. Turn. Relax that arm. There we go. Let that slide for now. Now turn. Tap. Forward. Good. Keep straight. You've got it. There you go. Turn, tap. Pull to your left, tap. Good, relax. Good. Keep forward. Much better. Yeah, just keep it forward. This is okay for now. Now I'm going to have you slow walk to a slow turn. That's okay. Now forward and relax. Keep straight. You got it. Now turn. Yep. Good. Relax. Yep. Now slow down. And we'll slow to a stop. Good. This is okay for now. So what I'm focusing here is, since there's like a lot of things I see that need to be worked on, is I'm really just focused on him taking the collar comfortably. Okay. So I was letting some of the forging slide just to get that passiveness of just like moving and walking, like in his head, okay? To build it to where I had it earlier, it was right on me, to help de-escalate that anxiety, that nervousness, and as we start to see him build more comfort with that, we can start to tighten things up, okay? So when I when I work on things, I like to think topics, you know, and for dogs, you can really only do one topic at a time for the most part. So I always want to concentrate on one thing. So for instance, like if earlier when he was super resistant, I was focused on the resistance. Okay. Once I got that off the way, then I could start getting the walking by my side, you know. And then from there, I would just keep building. Okay. So now that we got that resistance done, for the most part, the brain is probably going to reset. is when you're working with them, if you see, well, like this is better, then I progress to the next thing. The next thing from this would be now you need that right shoulder on that left leg. Just tighten it up, okay? Here. When you work with him on your, when they're in the week and stuff, was he doing well with walking with you, or did you find yourself having to just go back and forth a lot?
So it's not linear, it's a little bit of some walks and be like perfect to each other's shoulder right there. Other times it's pulling ahead with a million times.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Okay. What I would do is to make it easy for you, I would pick like a block. Just do that block. Okay? Because as you go on the walk, like you're shifting it, like, you know, from busy, high traffic, a lot of dogs, a lot of people, empty, somewhat busy, you know what I'm saying? So pick somewhere where it's like, okay, maybe it's quiet, right? It's just bland, very non-distracting, and you get it there. And you go, okay, great. I have consistency now. Now I'm going to move to this next area that's a little bit busier. And then you get to make consistencies and you keep working there till you get to consistency. Okay? So again, topic, kind of, right? Where you go, I'm going to do this first, to this, to this, to this. Now I'm very much into challenging and going like, let's do it, and we go in a busy place, but you have a case where you're most likely going to end up doing more of a gradual progression. And how he's progressing and how you feel about it is with the techniques that there's no right or wrong here. Okay, so if he's doing really well, like you don't feel like you have it down quite yet, then you just keep practicing. Keep it in that area. There's no rush here. Okay, it's all about time. And then when you feel like, okay, I'm solid, he's solid, now I'm gonna go next area, right? And then sometimes, you know, you might, as you're making progression, you'll get stuck where like you're not getting any progress in this new area. I go back to the old area or a different area, similar energy, you know, get it there again, and then come back and revisit, okay? It happens in training, so that's another option. So just keep those things in mind. But this is better than what we had started with. Typically, it's usually not high enough, right? It can also be too high, okay? It's just experiment within that situation, and you know, the tools and all that stuff, and then you know, it should be a pretty straightforward process. If there's ever anything, that's why even I think during the consultation I said that harness is going to work against us, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're going to see how this does. We're going to start to push things a little more. We're going to add something in today. We're going to add the auto sits just to put him under a bit more pressure. Has he ever sat at your side when you come to a stop and stuff?
Yes, he actually has.
He's been doing that, okay, but not consistently.
Not consistently.
Okay, so we're going to work on something today to make that a bit more consistent. What we're going to do first, before we get started on that, is I'm going to have you just go ahead and do a few more of these just back and forths. So here, instead of going forward, you'll just pivot to your right, and then, there we go. Yep. And keep slow here. There you go. There you go. Turn. I'm gonna have you shorten just a wee bit, like maybe 6 inches. There you go. Forward. Good. Relax that arm. Turn. Yeah. A slow walk here. Forward, keep it forward. Turn down. Good. Keep it forward. Go to your left. You got it. Yep, there you go. Good. Slow walk here. Slower. We'll stop. Good. This looks a bit smoother. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to do the first batch of sits because we're going to have to put pressure on that throat, so I can work them through that. Once we get it consistent, then I'll pass off to you. Okay. Yep. 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 Yep.
Really? Yeah, a lot.
Yep. 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 Love it. Yep. 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 15. Yep. 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 Yeah. 30. Is grab up here, lightly up. I'm going to put some pressure on the butt as I tap. I'm back down to 5. Yeah. Yeah. Good. He's very tense. Yeah. And loosen up a little bit. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Ah, there's a photography set.
There's a big photography.
Yeah.
Oh, a shy one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Got it. Got it. Good boy. Yeah. Good. Very big overreaction, but he went right where I wanted him. Just be careful with the spot. Good. Boy. Good. Yep. 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 Good. Go back down to that 5 from an 8. That was one tap. Good. Yeah. 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 8. Yeah. 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 Get a boy. Good boy. Yep. 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 Good. So shouldn't take a whole lot. Okay. Break. There we go.
And we're right around halfway, so we're going to get this collar together.
You're fine. You move it. Shayna canceled, by the way. So we can either grab lunch or soda or whatever. That's good. Now when you come to a stop, very light pressure up, light pressure on the butt, very, very light with the hands, and the tap should pop into that position. Okay? Good. There you go. Now praise. Good boy. Yep. Good. Good. Relax that arm. Got it. Relax. Yeah. Always keep relaxed. Now you put tension. There you go. Yeah. 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 Praise. Good. Good job. Yep. Now correct that stance. Yeah. Good. Great stance. Yeah. Boy. Okay. So when you do your turns, you have a habit of using your hand to turn them with you.
Yeah.
Or scoot down, okay? Because if you turn and you're doing this, it's probably because he's not turning with you. He should be turning with you. So then I'm using that as an opportunity to tap him, to bring him back. So the leash, if it goes to your right, you need to pull up to your left. When you come to a sit, you pull up to get him into a sitting position. If he crosses over you, it's okay, you know, to use it to like counter him so that you can keep moving forward. But when we do those turns, you should be turning with us. So if you don't see that, that's my moment to tap. You're not doing a good thing. Okay? You're fine.
Yeah.
No worries. Whenever you're ready. Better. Better. You're going to slow to that stop. Good. Yeah. Good. Attaboy. Good. Give a little bit more slack on that leash. There you go. Much better turn. Much better turn. Now slow down. Slow to a stop. There you go. Attaboy. Good. Lean forward. Good. Good turn. Good. Now slow to a stop. Better. Better. You got it. Now what we're going to do on these next ones is instead of pushing on the butt, you'll just lightly with the leash go up and tap to see if you can get it using just the leash pressure. Okay? Yep, slow to a stop. Yep. There you go. Relax. Praise. Attaboy.
Good job.
We're going to do a batch of 4 more just like that, okay? Much better.
Well,
Good. And relax. Good.
good job.
Relax. Good. Good, bud. Right. Forward. Got it. Relax. Yep. Okay, go fast. Okay. Now here, what I'm going to have you do is go and take that step back. Is light pressure back towards your left, back like down here, and like that. Tap, 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 tap. You can choke up a little bit on the leash if needed. Yep. Try to get very light pressure. Tap, tap. Relax. So when you're putting your pressure, very subtle, just enough that you feel it on his neck. And then we're trying to get the tapping to get Buddy to move into that space, okay? So we're going to try it again. So down, just so you feel tension, right there. Tap, tap, tap. Now we're going to bump it. Turn over. Let's go to 11. Tap, 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 tap. 15. Tap, tap, tap. Almost. Now relax. Now down to that 8. Now light pressure up. Tap. And relax. See that? So with this particular leash, we do have to be careful. I can hear it. I'm not sure if you heard it, but when you put too much tension, he stops. It's quiet, right? So I hear that. So like earlier when I was working with them, I heard that, and I could actually see that he was having trouble breathing. So I eased up, and right away I could hear the panting. So be mindful of that, because with the slip leash, great tool, lots of control. Okay, but a drawback is if the owner is too tense, they'll choke the dog out. Okay, so you want to be mindful of these things. Very, very subtle pressure. Okay, so here we lessened it, and then we used the remote to push him into behavior where the leash was just directing him in where we needed him to go. Okay, so we went 8, 11, 15. We saw him buck around. He shot forward. We let him process. He didn't land like I would have wanted this. He didn't do that. We went down to 8. Tap. Boom. Okay, so taking a good 30 seconds to a minute to make sure we get that smoothly. Okay, let's do a couple more. Okay, go ahead and give a little bit of slack here. There you go. Slow to a stop. Keep that on the line. Okay, this is okay. Light pressure up. Tap. Tap. There you go. And relax. Good. And yeah, see how he just like rolled on his hip when you pet him there? Now that tension, because earlier when I was petting him and stuff, he was like a rock.
Yeah.
Yep. Up. Yep. 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 There it is. And relax. Good. Good turn. Yeah, just keep it forward. That was better. Slow to a stop. Light pressure. Yep. Good. Now what we're going to do is same thing, but instead of pulling up, you're just going to tap. And we're going to see if we can get that with just a tap. If we don't see a response with the second or third tap, you'll keep tapping and then pull up. Correct. No pressure. Yeah, there you go.
Good boy.
Good job, Leslie. Good. Yeah. Let him relax. Just keep it forward. Good. Very good. Keep it forward. Slow foot turn. There you go. Good. Yep. There you go. Great. Attaboy. Good job. Good. 3 more. Good turn. Good job. Good. Relax that arm. Yep. 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 Wait a moment. There you go. Good. And what I would do is slower taps. That's where that big jump came from. Is right when it kicked in, it was like, whoa. Okay, so again, overcompensating. So I just put a little bit more space between them. Let's try 2 more. Yeah. Yeah. Subtle pressure. Real subtle. Yeah. 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 Now forward. There you go. And did you stay at 8 or did you jump it? Okay, very good. Good. Relax, please. Slow this down. Wait a moment. Yep. There you go. Now praise. Let's go down to a 6. Try 1 more. A little bit of feedback tension. There you go. There you go. Good. Slow to stop. Yep. Yeah. There you go. Pause right there. Very good. So here, when he locked up and you're applying that directional pressure, I knew he was going to move because he kept jumping around. Okay. So when you're reaching the breaking point, like let's say again he's locked on something, you see that twitching, right? And you keep going up, nothing, and all of a sudden he starts to do this. Starts to like look around or like jump. That jumping is telling you now you're communicating to him. Okay, now he's processing. So then he jumped back, and then on the 3rd or 4th one he jumped forward, and I said right there, stop, because he came in the direction he wanted, and then I was like, now you can keep moving. Okay. Now, good thing that I liked there was that you didn't have to escalate. You were just at 8. Okay. Because now, earlier when I broke all those moments of resistance by going up higher, I think the highest we went today was 15, is his brain has registered like, this keeps going up, right? But if I just move with it, it goes away, and then it goes lower sometimes, right? So here, he felt the 8, he moved with it, and oh, it won't go up if I just boom, apply right off the bat, right? Because right there he was like, yo, I've had enough. And I get it because this is a lot of work, But if I stop there, I know where he's coming from, and I get it, and I go, I would be stressed out too. But if I let that happen, he learns that, right? So it seems bad, but you have to break that habit, because if he has any leeway of I can get what I want if I resist enough or I do something, we stay stuck. And I want him to know that the only way for things to get easier is just compliance. And that makes his life easy. Because then he doesn't have to worry about, well, then it's not even an option, so why even try? Okay? Questions about this stuff here. So typically by class 2, we'd already be saying heel and doing all these other things. But, in your case, we're most likely going to hit that in the 3rd class. Okay? Now, schedule-wise, what is your schedule like? Are you like Monday to Friday working? Or are you like more like kind of...
No. That's just.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's Monday to Friday?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Because what I think would benefit you better is bi-weekly, every 2 weeks. Okay. The only issue with that, though, is we have to move your time to a time where it's um, like Saturdays and Sundays are our busiest times, right? So then it's like we have it booked and then we don't have it booked, you know. So you can keep it weekly, okay? But the reason why I suggest the 2 weeks is you need more time to practice this stuff with your particular case, okay? So this way, and obviously during the week, email me like you were and stuff like that. You're more than welcome to join us on the pack walk stuff that is, you know, weather pending every Saturday morning, so you can still be working on stuff with me even in that week between. But I think it'd give you more time to really focus on these little nuanced things, so we can make even more progress. Okay, it happens from time to time. I personally don't care. I'm like, I know I care about the result, and I know in this particular case, I think time would benefit you more. If you do 2 weeks and it seems too long, or you feel like, oh no, I'm actually making progress now that we switched up the leash and everything, that's fine too. Like we call, you know, I just want you to make sure that you're making good progress here. So that is an option for you. For the slip leash, because I think your concern was before when the trachea, but then also did he slip out of something before?
I slipped out of my foot, yes.
Okay, so he shouldn't be able to slip out of a slip leash because it tightens. Okay, but you have to be mindful of the tightening because then you can choke out. So, and the one that we have here, this is Enrique, so it's, you know, it's the tab that keeps it in place is a little bit loose. So there was times where it came loose, and then I saw the slip coming a little undone. That I tightened it up. It's just being aware of that stuff. If you get a new slip, you shouldn't have that issue. Another thing that you could do is maybe a slip chain, and then they make leashes with 2 clips. So one would be clipped like on his slip, and then one would be clipped like on his flag collar. I would really just, honestly, if possible, get rid of that harness. And then clip the so if the slip somehow came off, you still be caught on that flag collar. So if you want to look into that. Oh, the gentle leader, right. Did he slip out of that?
Yes, when we do that, we do the 2 leashes. One.
You're fine. Sorry, buddy. You're good. What's up?
We have to do 2 leashes, one on his harness in case he escapes, and the other one on the gentle leader in the front.
Okay, so what you could do is, I'm not opposed to the gentle leader as long as he accepts it. And it would be the same process. If he starts bucking around, I just pull up and then tap until he stops all that nonsense. But instead of clipping to the harness, I clip to the flat collar. Okay? Because if that pops off, he's still going to be secure. Okay? And then it's like I just bring him in, readjust or whatever. So as long as he's able to keep that gentle leader on, I'm not opposed to it. But if he manages to like repeatedly escape from it, then I would opt for something else. Okay? But that works as well. Okay? But I definitely stop with the harness for now. See how that works for you. Other questions?
I don't think so. I think this kind of leash works okay. You can't pull him back so much, but he's not reacting.
Right.
So pulling forward, pulling to the side. It's this.
Right.
It's just pulling back.
Yeah, and that's why, like, you know, gaining the habit of, or losing the habit of doing a lot of leash work. And like, if he gets ahead, turning and tapping, because when you started, you kept trying to move forward and tapping, and that's what was causing some frustration because he didn't know what he was supposed to do. Okay, so then I lowered the level, I gave him slack, and then I was turning whenever he was getting ahead because he was shooting, right? And I was like, real slow, tapping here, getting him back, and then I would move, and again he'd go. But here, like even this leash length here, I'd give at least like a. Right there. Now we're like that's a good amount of slack there. Because even if you try to use your hand, you have to do a lot of work before the tension kicks in. So it kind of removes that because then you become aware of it. Is now I'm completely loose and relaxed. The leash is nice and slack. And when he goes ahead of me, I even do this so that he can keep giving some distance when I turn the tap to bring him in. Because I'm really trying not to use that leash to pull him. Okay, we're looking for that mental control, not that physical control, which is just a habit that a lot of people have. Okay. Other questions? Okay. So think over that idea, the bi-weekly thing, and then if that's, I would say by like Tuesday or Wednesday to let Maria know, so she can adjust my calendar. And then now, because it's getting darker earlier, like I train later, but now we've been pushing. I think it's this after 7 o'clock or after 6 o'clock. Now it's at the facility because it just got put in the kids' pitch black. I was here with the client. It was just like super dark. So I'll train later. Like it's not a problem for me. It's just we may have to change location. Okay. Otherwise, much better than last week. Good job with riding through it. Good job being consistent. We learned a lot more things today, more options, going down lower, changing our tools. You seem like a fast walker, is that correct?
Yeah, I'm working on it for that.
Yeah, so just when you go into training, just cut it in half. Okay, I've had a number of people be super fast walkers, and it's difficult for the dog. So I'll tell them, when you walk with your dog, cut your speed in half, just off the bat. So then when you slow for your turns and stuff, it's easier. And then when you're walking on your own, of course, it doesn't matter. Okay, but for him, it'll make things a lot easier. Okay, I'm liking this, much more passive from like the first time we were here. Relaxing, rolling on that hip, you know, the anxiety level of like even just panting here, like this is venting stress, letting it out, whereas earlier he was just straight up anxious. Okay, so this is good. I like this.
Yeah,
okay.
It does this at the elevator too. He used to get freaked out. I was living in the apartment, so while waiting for the elevator to get in there, he's like clinging himself against the walls, panting, going crazy.
Sure.
Now we walk in and he just sits at my left side.
Beautiful.
So
Very
this
good.
is the most amazing transformation even just after 1 week.
Very good. I'm glad to hear it. Okay, and we're going to keep making progress. This is definitely some work ahead of us, but this is a good chunk kind of out the way. All right. Excellent job. Anything else?
Don't think so.
Okay, so we'll switch. We'll give you back your leash and everything here, and then just get on the bike here, just so you know. There we go. Thank you so much, Emily. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll shoot you an email with all that information. Okay? And if you need anything else.
Alright, I'll let you know. Monday, Tuesday, so
Yeah.